Welcome to the channel. This is Coach Charles on Kick on Sports. Let's bring it up. Now, this Premier League is going to be epic because what we are looking at currently are teams that are very well stacked with very good players. The players that we have seen join the Premier League, these are world beaters. These are real ballers. These are players that can change matches, and every other team has them. You know, I'm looking at Manchester City Spurs, and this game is epic. Yeah? Spurs are totally different. I think the mistake that Pep Guardiola has done today is assume that this is still Postecoglou. This is not Postecoglou, because this new coach, Thomas Frank, this guy is who he says he is, because he's very good, and the structure that Spurs are using is quite solid. Anyway, this is Coach Charles from Kick on Sports. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing because we want to analyze what a goal by Spurs. Yeah, while I was just recording, Spurs just added the second one. This is crazy, man. This is crazy stuff. Oh, Trafford is lost. The boy is lost. Yeah? Pep is taking a sip of water because, hey, this is getting hot. It's getting hot and it's just early days. This is just early days of the Premier League. And I can assure you that the momentum that Spurs are building in this game specifically is very good. Now, I was saying this. Pep Guardiola assumed that this is Ange Postecoglou Spurs. This is a totally different Spurs. This is a Thomas Frank kind of Spurs. And they are well drilled. The defense is solid, the midfield is solid, and the attack are very quick. You know, Johnson on the left, Kudus on the right, and Richarlison just running ragged around them. You know, he's already given an assist, this Richarlison guy, and he's all over. That is almost a Richarlison assist because it's a second goal, and Richarlison just touched it as the very last man before it was shot into the net. So this is epic. This is epic stuff. Anyway, Pep assumed this is Ange's Spurs, which is a mistake that he has done, because I am looking at a game that is needed some really cool heads. Oscar Bob is good, but he's very young. You know, these are the players that they are using. Some of them have not played the Premier League for long. You know, Reinders was good, but that was Wolves. This is Spurs. This is a top team with a very good coach. The team that is in the Champions League, and they have done some really good signings. You know, even by just adding kudos to this team, these guys have elevated Spurs to a different level. You know, because Kudus is able to receive the ball in between the lines, play one-on-one, you know, just push the defense, and that is exactly what Spurs are doing at the moment, and I am loving this. Anyway, this video was not about Spurs. This video was a Manchester United preview. You know, the game against Fulham will be a very interesting game. This will be a Ruben Amorim kind of game whereby we expect Manchester United to win. And why do we say that? Because if Manchester United do not win this game, it means that they'll be falling behind, 6 points behind the leaders. Yeah? And I can see Spurs being one of those leaders, because I don't see them City coming back in this game. But anyway, it's early days. It's just almost halftime, but we will see. But the question is Manchester United able to beat Fulham at home, you know, away from Old Trafford? Because this is a win that is required. Manchester United cannot afford to lose this game. They cannot afford to fumble in this game. This is the game that defines the season for Manchester United. It will tell people whether the coach is ready for the Premier League. Because the Premier League is a beast. It is an animal. Look at the signings that teams have done. You know, Liverpool have brought some really good players. They have brought some world beaters, you know, very expensive players. Huh? Arsenal are still doing their thing. They have brought in Eberechi Eze, the very last signing. There is another one that is still coming. You know, Arsenal have done some really good signing. I think the game against Manchester United rattled them a bit. They were able to win that game, but the feeling of winning was tampered by the fact that United had more possession. United had more shots on goal. United had won a lot of tackles high into the pitch. You know, United were better on the day, and that is why the Eberechi Eze signing had to happen, and it happened real quick, real fast, no fuss. You know, Remember the days we were waiting for Mbeumo to join Manchester United? It was crazy, man. It was crazy. I could not believe why is such a transaction so hard? You know, just give me money, give you a product. The way Arsenal have done the Eberechi Eze signing, that was crazy. Now, if you added Eberechi Eze to this Spurs team, I can assure you this was going to be a very, very strong Spurs team. This was going to be a very solid Spurs team, because what I can see here is a different team, totally different team from what we've always expected from Spurs. They are playing well, they are doing everything right, and they are solid on defense, in midfield, and in attack. And Bentancur is receiving balls like modern day Xavi, you know, Iniesta, Pique. He's picking the balls under pressure. You know, he's playing like a player that is reinvented, and that is what Thomas Frank has brought to this team. So the Premier League is not going to be easy. Players, teams, managers have to realize that this is not the same Premier League that we knew. And that is exactly what Manchester United need to do. This game against Fulham, there is no room for fumbling. Now, we can say everything we want, but Manchester United still has problems. And the main problem is offloading the players that were considered the bomb players. But I really feel for Højlund, because this boy went out in pre-season and really gave it all. He trained, you know, he prepared himself, he had a personal coach, he did so much just to be part of the Manchester United squad. But then United just let him go, you know. United are pushing him out. Not loudly, but in a way that it's not cool, man. I wish this boy was given a chance. What if SESKO gets an injury the first 3 games of the season? We need someone who can also play that position. Yes, Zakzi can play there. Yes, Cunha can do that, Mbeumo, but they're not